I'm gonna start off with Hideaway because it's kind of taking on a life of its own. 0 budget, 2 takes, broken a rib, few friends in Brooklyn. But you said you made it.
The usual.
Yeah, the usual Saturday. But you said you made it with no expectations. So what about now when it's come to what it is? Did you ever think something like this would happen?
No, definitely not. I was kind of in the mindset that I was going to be a songwriter for other people. And then Hideaway, I always had my side projects, and Hideaway kind of came up as a song that I really identified with and liked for myself. So I was like, oh, I'll use this as my side project. And it's like, I love house, I love like the 90s vibe, and I'll make a whole like project around this. And did the video, my brother shot it. I have my friend.
Your brother?
Yeah, literally, like he was the only professional film person.
Yeah.
There's no director, no like producer, nothing.
Yeah.
And and then just rounded up, my friend was a choreographer, I asked her to do it, and she rounded up her friends, and I rounded up my friends, and we just found a day that it worked for us, and threw it together.
The rest is history.
That's where you can actually go through, and there's some like mistakes in the video.
Like the jogger at the beginning, the random people.
Well, the random people, we didn't have a permit, so like there's
Really?
like, yeah.
No
so
one came around. You had to get it done.
There's a cop that came around, but then she ended up like whipping out her phone and filming us. So we're like, okay, I think that's okay. But there's like a few things like there's a big giant orange X on the road that we forgot to take off, and like some dancers bump into each other. There's a guy who was supposed to be in the taxi at the very end, like on the phone, telling the taxi to come.
Oh, really?
But really, he ended up on the street waving down the taxi while Instagramming at the same time. Like.
Part of the realness, right?
We're like, where's Dixon? And they were like, why is Dixon on the street? But it ended up being really funny.
What I love about you too is you're really into the brain and positive thinking and manifesting. Like when you were a little girl, you wrote something in your necklace. You're 7.
I wrote that I wanted to be a singer, which was weird because I remember, aside from wanting to be a prima ballerina, I also wanted to be an eye surgeon. Yeah. So, like I had 2 options. I was like, I'm a ballerina, but when I grow up, I might want to be an eye surgeon. Which is weird for like a 7-year-old to say.
The opera or something.
In this jar, I wanted to be a singer, which was so random because I can't remember wanting to be a singer at the age of 7. So it's like I predetermined my future.
Do you still use that as an artist?
Affirmation? Definitely. I mean, it's not like I ever sat down and thought I'm gonna manifest. I think I just do it just instinctively because I just focus. I really focus on my goals. And it's like, I have to. I know the date, I can visualize it, I can see everything. And I never plan how I'm going to get there. Like, I feel like the how is just infinite. So I just focus on where I want to go, and it just unravels. Like, the path just unravels, and point A and point B, like, this is where you are, this is where you want to get to, but the path in between is, like, completely unknown. And there's, like, a million different paths to the same destination. So that's actually the interesting part is, like, not knowing how you're gonna get there.
One of my favorite quotes is like, it's good to have an end to journey towards, but it's a journey that matters.
Yeah, and it's totally true, and it's actually scientifically true. If you study the dopamine release patterns, you'll know that living is actually scientifically in the journey. Huh. I could go, it's not a science talk though. I could go on for a long time about that.
Okay, well I'm gonna start about your point A, where you're growing up in Calgary, because it's kind of a strange place, I think, to discover house and dance music. It's not
I was very
typically
fortunate that my mom was like a house diva.
Really?
Like, it was very country music oriented, my city.
Yeah.
There's the pop stations, but there was like 2 of them. Yeah. And then it was all like country rock, I don't know, easy listening, soft rock, singer-songwriter.
You just go on SoundCloud back, now?
No, and that's the thing. My mom, I think, she was obsessed with Michael Jackson. And I think that sort of somehow led her into the world. It was like she knew who CeCe Peniston was. She knew who Robin S. was. She knew who, I think everyone knew who Whitney Houston was. But, but divas were like, big singers were what she lived for. And she would like be cooking and singing along. And like I think she secretly wanted to be a singer like that maybe, but she just loved it. And I was a baby, which is why like a lot of people would like quiz me with like 90s songs, and I'd be like, oh, I know the melody, but like, what are the words? And it's because I lived like from age of like 1 to like 7 with just like these like early 90s songs bumping, and so like all the melodies are in my head, but I'm like reliving a lot of them.
We host a show called Retro 30.
Yeah, you were mentioning that. Sounds so.
It's based around the 90s and early 2000s. So I know the 90s were a huge influence on you. Why do you think they were? And what do you think is missing in music now that you're trying to bring back?
I would say there's like something missing in music, because as much as like there's very much like a sound that's like mainstream, we have access to everything online. So if you want to go back to the 90s anytime you want, you can go there, or the 30s or the 20s, you know?
Yeah.
But I just love that sound. I love the 90s. I love even the tempo of the 90s. I feel like it was like the perfect speed to dance to. And I love the soul in the vulnerability of the singing, and even some of like the cheesiest ballads ever written, but they were like the best ballads.
But I saw
ever
you
written.
doing Lauryn Hill too. Which...
Lauryn Hill, that thing, yeah. I love Lauryn Hill. I love Erykah Badu. I just love. I guess I love like singers with a real story. Singers who you like really connect with, and you're like, yeah, that person really, I really believe that they went through that and really felt that way, and you just have so much soul in their voice.
Do you have any music videos in particular from the 90s that really stand out to you? Or the 2000s?
I was brought up completely on Michael Jackson music videos, but I remember really connecting with Pump Up the Jam, like the dance, like as a dance video. It was just like. There's just like all these changing colors behind it and people dancing. It's like,
why not?
I remember just wanting to dance along to that video. A lot. Aaliyah's videos were very like. She was a huge inspiration to me. And you actually, I think, now that I listen back to my album, I think you can really hear some influence on the album.
The
piano.
Yeah. When I was listening to it, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it wasn't like intentional.
Yeah.
Nothing was intentional, but it really like it tapped in. I didn't reference anything when I did this album, like with Rami. Maybe he did, but like I didn't want to be directly influenced, because I didn't want to try and like. Sometimes it makes you get stuck and you want to copy. I just sort of channeled everything that I had taken in and just kind of pretended that the 90s never existed and existed now. And what would I create now if I was in the 90s? So.
You and me also have something in common. We've been sharing all our.
I know. I like walked in and I was like, I would wear that.
Yes, and I would wear that. And your different color laces. You, like me, are double jointed in the arms. Yeah. But you. I don't want to mess up your hair, but this thing, you know.
Oh, you don't do this. That's
See,
just
that
me.
Thing. You do that too. You do that too.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, I don't want to ruin your hair. See? Twinning.
Yep. And then like.
Yeah. I don't know.
Have you ever seen bone breaking?
No. What is that?
It's like a form of dancing where you like dislocate your joints. Yeah, I can actually do that. But I don't.
I used to work on a dance show.
I promised my mom I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because my mom believes that it will hurt me in the long run, and I made just one promise that I won't be a bone breaker.
So Mom, we'll keep her alive for you. I'm gonna go dancing.
No bone breaking.
Yeah, no bone breaking.
I might
just regular Michael Jackson.
I might pull out one bone breaking move one day. I will show my mom.
Remember from the It's Like That video? Remember the It's Like That? And they were all breakdancing together and they like do the bone breaking and then push. That was my favorite.
Oh, that actually inspired. Actually, I think that might have been the thing that inspired me to try bone
I know. I was like, let's try it.
Like,
I
was like, okay, I can do this. I can dislocate my arm. It's gonna come out at some point. The things that kids do.
I know.
Like,
but look, all that
when you think about it,
got you here and made that video. And it's awesome.
It just made me think about like what willed me to dislocate my arm.
We'll keep you safe.
It's a video. Video did it.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. It was so nice to meet you. Shake, hug.
I know, hug. Hug it up.